Hey everybody, it's Robin Graham, your brandographer here, and I am super excited because I am going live on Facebook to interview Madalyn Sklar. I did a workshop, I guess, class, whatever you want to call it, on video with Madalyn over the past few weeks, and she's been super inspiring, and she offered us the opportunity to interview her. And as a social media guru, I thought this is perfect because my listeners can surely learn from Madalyn, and it would be a great experience. So I'm going to try to add Madalyn in seconds for her to come live. And there she is.
Hello. Hi, Robin. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect.
Yay,
Yeah.
it worked.
It worked. I'm so excited because, I mean, obviously I learned all of this and developed the courage to do this.
Yay.
So
I'm so proud of you. I'm going to put my better glasses on. It has less glare. Hopefully less glare.
Yeah.
So this is great. You look great. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's like
Good.
a whole new world.
Yeah.
Opening up. I really like it.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you because this is where I wanted everybody to get to, a point where you could come on here and be able to talk to people, and it's a fun way to connect, and it's real. Like, you can't get more real than live video, right?
Yeah, it is. It's raw. It's real. There's no question about the emotions or whatever's going on.
That's right.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I have a question for you.
Sure.
One of our assignments was to do a live or a video response to someone on Twitter.
Yes.
So I did that, and I thought, well, that was pretty cool. And I picked a quote that I thought was very inspiring and added my 2 cents, and of course tagged you on it, and it got some good feedback. So I'm wondering, from your perspective as a social media goddess, what are your thoughts on that? Like, how often should you use that tool of video response on Twitter?
Yeah, so you are taking part in this initiative I started last year called Video Reply Day. And I just wanted people to get in the habit of replying to some of your tweets with a video, because like we get tweets, we tweet them out, and it feels like texting, right? Because you're just typing whatever you're saying. And this is taking it a step further where you can actually get on video and say something back. So if you tweeted me and you say, hey, at Madalyn Sklar, I'm really enjoying this mastermind program, instead of me just typing back, thank you, Robin, I could actually, hit reply, hit the camera icon, the video icon, and just start talking and say, hey, Robin, thank you so much. I'm so glad. And you're going to see this video and you're going to be like, wow, I'm getting to know Madalyn even more because she's talking to me in a video. She's replying to me on video. So I just think it's a really cool way to connect with people, and it can really open up a lot of doors. So I was so glad you had tagged me in that tweet, and I saw, all of that unfolding, and you saw that that's a really neat way to connect using Twitter and video.
So let me ask you this. Do you think, so for someone like me, I'm kind of in the trenches, I do my shoots, I'm all the time, whatever. I'm on and off of social media throughout the day. So for someone that is wanting to engage with an influencer like you, is that a good way to maybe take that initiative? So that they see who you are and they see your personality on camera versus just the words in text that may or may not have value to them?
It absolutely is. And here's a great example. So I used to always counsel people, like when you go to a conference and you go meet an influencer or somebody you like, get a picture taken with them, right? So then after the conference, when you send an email to follow up, say, it was so nice meeting you, and then you attach the photo, and they're not going to forget you. They're like, oh yeah, they put that name to the face, right? So this is kind of the same thing, but we're using video. So when you have that person that you want to connect with, using video to do it could really open up so much more, because they're going to be like, wow, this person's talking to me, and it's a great way to be memorable. I think it's really worked well for me, and that's why I've been sharing this as a strategy to so many people, because I still love the strategy of taking a picture with somebody. Like, I was just at Social Media Marketing World, and even though I was one of the speakers and everybody saw me as the influencer, there were some speakers there where I was the fangirl, right? And like, I got to meet Jenna Kutcher from the Gold Digger podcast, and I love her. I discovered her podcast a few months ago. I listen to it all the time. So I saw her. I said, can I get a picture with you? And she said, yes. So I followed up with her, and I sent the picture, and I said, you know, Jenna, it was so great meeting you. I know that she's bombarded. She is so popular right now. She is one of the most popular podcasts in the world right now. And so how do I want to stand out and be memorable? Well, sending her a picture of us together meeting at a conference is one way, but another way would be to actually do a video to her, send a tweet with a video and say, hey, Jenna, you know, just want to say hi and tell you how much I love your podcast. You go, girl. She'll be more inclined to respond to that because it's cool and it's real and it's going beyond the tweet. So I think it's a great strategy to try. And look, it may work great with some people and it may not with others. And, you know, we all have to know that going in. And, you know, it's just like if I want to tweet a big deal person, it doesn't mean they're going to tweet me back. They don't have to. They may not even look at it. But I feel that a photo or a video goes so much further.
Sure. Well, so that brings me to two things. One, how would people, like if the listeners today want to take part in this video response, what is the best way for them to do that? They can hashtag it, or is there a certain thing on Twitter that they need to do so that they get recognized, like by you when they do it, or maybe get involved with some of your contacts as well?
Right. There's so many different ways to do it. It's such a great question. I started the hashtag video reply day because I wanted to just get the word out about, hey, do you know that you can reply to tweets with a video? I think people don't realize. I find with Twitter, there's a lot of people don't know what they don't know, right? Because there's so many features that Twitter has that no one knows about. So I've been on this mission to teach it. I see a lot of my friends here. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Gail. So cool. I've just been on this mission to teach people how to do these things. And it is so simple to use video on Twitter. People they think of a video with Snapchat and with Instagram stories and now with Facebook stories. But who thinks about making a video on Twitter? Nobody thinks of that. So I thought I would start this initiative with Video Reply Day. And very quickly, a community spawned out of that, which I was not planning. But I had tweeted it out to a bunch of friends and colleagues, and they started sharing it and so on and so on. So if you go follow the hashtag, you're going to see a whole group of people tweeting and making videos and talking all the time. And you can jump into that, right? You can go look and see one of the current tweets or videos and just reply to everybody in that whole circle. It's about like 30 something people, I think, or might be like 20 something now. And just jump into the conversation and make a video and introduce yourself and just keep up with that hashtag. Or the next time you look at your notifications, and you got to do this with your phone. It's not available on desktop. Is a feature you do on your phone. But when you go through your notifications and you see a bunch of tweets, next time reply to all of them with a video. So I kind of refer to, and this was just my doing with the Video Reply Day hashtag, I kind of like marked Tuesday as my video reply day. Doesn't mean anybody has to do that. I picked a day. It's so funny. The story is I picked a day I knew I would have makeup on. And I know, working from home, we don't always have to put makeup on and be all done up and be video ready, right? Or photo ready. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays are my Twitter chats, and I do the live video after chat. So I know I'm going to have a little bit of makeup on. So I thought, why don't I make Tuesday video reply day? So I know I'm going to have some makeup on, and I'll reply to tweets with a video and encourage other people to do it. So it's been kind of fun doing this, but I encourage people to do it all the time. But of course, we don't have enough hours in the day for all of us to do it all the time. If you're like me and you get a lot of tweets, you go to your notifications, the more you tweet, the more notifications you'll have. And for me, it's just not practical to do every one as a video because it is time consuming. But to spend some time each week doing it, I think is a good habit to get into, and you'll be amazed at the results you get because nobody expects a video as a reply to a tweet, or even just as a tweet, like just tweeting somebody randomly and tagging them and saying hi, and like with yours, with the quote, like it'd be really cool to like goes like, how each day, if you go to Twitter, like on Monday, the popular hashtag is Motivation Monday. There's always one each day that's a motivational, like Wednesday is Wednesday wisdom or something like that. So today being Friday, I'm sure there's something that's attached for Friday. Go in there and just look at all the random tweets and pick one that has a good quote and reply to that person and just say how much you enjoyed the quote. They're going to freak out and go, oh my God, this is, and who knows what will come of that. Yes, that's a start of a relationship.
Right. I love the idea. So that's great. Now, everybody that's seen this video, and when I share it on my YouTube channel, I think other people can learn video reply day. And hopefully it will help their visibility as well. So that, I know our time is limited and I don't want to keep you too long, but that leads me into my next question.
Okay.
So branding specialist, I'm constantly preaching, so to say, about visual content and how critical visual content is, and how we need to represent ourselves, in a positive light, no pun intended, and, so on and so forth. So from your perspective, I mean, you touched on the visual content with the video. So how important do you think visual content is? I know for me how important it is, and I know the statistics, but from a social media guru perspective, what are your thoughts?
I think visual content is so extremely important. I mean, there's been studies about how, and we'll use Twitter as the example, having a photo, having an image in a tweet will get you much more engagement than just a plain tweet. And they say this for Facebook, they say this for LinkedIn. There's been so many studies, but then some people experiment and say it's the opposite. And I always say experiment because what works for you may not work for me and vice versa, but I'm a big fan of visual content. So when you go look at my Twitter, you look at my Facebook, you're always going to see images of some sort, whether it's a photo, a logo, a video, something. I just think it's really important.
So two more quick questions.
Okay.
One is, do you have like a favorite time and day to post? Like, is there a time when visibility is highest for posting on social media? And I know I've read, articles and different philosophies. I'm wondering if you have one.
That's such an interesting question. It's different for everybody because if you go look at your analytics, it will show you specifically for you. So like, for instance, if you go to your Facebook page and you go into your insights, it will show you when your followers to your page, it'll show like, it's kind of like a bell, kind of goes up and down like a bell, and it will show you where it peaks and what days and times. And I've experimented with that, and same thing with Twitter, it will kind of show you like peaks and stuff. I feel it's so subjective, right? Because, okay, what if the peak time for me, like I know with my Twitter chat, it always comes back and says Thursdays is good for me to post. And it'll usually say afternoon. Well, but what if I tweet something that is a great article that really connects with people? And then what if I do one that's kind of a boring motivational quote? I mean, they're two completely different things, and I could do it on a different day and time and get a completely different result that could be positive, So I feel like it's so subjective. So I experiment and I try different days and times. For my scheduling, I use Buffer. When I read articles and stuff, and it's like just a one-off thing I want to tweet, I'll put it in my Buffer. And I've experimented with all different times of day. I basically have something scheduled between Buffer and Social Jukebox. That's my other one I use. Basically once every hour to hour and a half, there'll be something tweeted out by me. And I found that works for me, but that doesn't work for everybody. People see me as an influencer. They see me as a resource. They know that if they go to my Twitter, there's lots of information on there. So I've experimented and tried different things. So I think that's a good way to start, is try some different days and times and watch the analytics and see if you notice things from that.
And I know Instagram also has the analytics now, right?
Yes, it does.
So I think it is very specific to individuals and content as well.
It is. And with Instagram, you got to have a business account. So that's the thing too. For Instagram, be sure you can switch it from a personal to a business. It's very easy to do. You go into the settings, you have to do it on your phone. But once you have the business account, now you can get the analytics.
So what is your perspective on when people are posting a new post, and they post on Facebook, they post on Instagram, they post on Twitter, and it's the same content across all platforms? Is that, in my perspective, I think it looks a little canned. And I think it's better personally to be more creative and post a different post on Instagram, a different post on Facebook, a different post on Twitter, realizing it's more work. But is it better to have that diversity in content on the same day, or is it better to have the same content on every platform on the same day?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And I think we got a little bit of a delay, by the way, because something happened like about a minute or two ago. And I think it seems like we're a little bit of a delay, just FYI. It's such a good question. And that goes back again to experimenting. It used to be that there were tools. This was a long time ago. There were tools that allowed you to do one post, and it went out to everything all at once at the same time. And it was a great time saver. But this was back in the early days of social media, when maybe all of your friends on Facebook were not on your Twitter and not on your LinkedIn and not on your Instagram. And so that became a popular method. But then over the years, as social media evolved, we found that that's not always the best method. People are trying to save time, so it's a time saver, but are you really doing your fans and followers a good service by doing that? So I think it's good to experiment. I post mostly on Twitter, and so I will take some of my Twitter content and put it into Facebook, but they're not going out at the same time. So it's always staggered or be like a different day completely. So I've experimented. I mean, I guess my big theme here is experimentation and just try things and see what works.
All right, so for the listeners out there and like my branding clients, what is one piece of advice that you would say would help everyone out there with visibility for their business and growing an audience, so to speak?
The best thing to do is engage with your audience, engage with people, just engage, because too many times people get on social media and they'll just post stuff about their business. They post their blog, they post buy my book, come see me speak, sign up for my webinar, but they're not really engaging. They're just pushing it out. They're making it a one-way street. A two-way street is when you actually engage with people and have a conversation, and you're talking and they're talking, and it's back and forth. So many people say, oh, I get on Twitter, it's a ghost town. Well, you're doing it wrong if you call it a ghost town. There are lots of people there. It's easy to communicate, but you need to listen and then engage. So if you just jump on and post, you actually need to slow down, listen to people. You can still post your stuff, but listen to conversations, see what's being talked about. Go jump on some Twitter chats. On Facebook, there's so many great groups that are communities. Join these communities, get to know people, and participate and engage. And once you really start doing that, the whole landscape changes for you. You are now making relationships. You're building relationships with people. And at the end of the day, you're just talking to people. Even if it's a big brand, there's a person behind the brand you're talking to. And, it's a great way to build up relationships. I mean, I have gotten connected with so many companies that I'm now becoming ambassadors for, where they're actually bringing me in as an ambassador to talk about their business. And it all started with listening and engaging on social media. And so it is not difficult to do, but if you start looking at it from that perspective, it really changes the game for you.
I love that. That's great advice. It's fabulous. So where can people that are listening, like on my feed maybe, that don't already follow you, how can they find you?
The best place to find me is Twitter, because I love Twitter. It is like my favorite platform. So at Madalyn Sklar, and also through my website, madalynsklar.com. So those are the two best places. And Robin, you've done such a great job with this interview. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. And thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your time so much, Madalyn.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.